Welcome inside our CBS Sports studios. I'm Adam Schein, alongside my guy, the great Kyle Long. And listen, Justin Fields apparently can complete a pass or two.
Take that, Woody!
We said the same thing at the same time. Great minds think alike, and I'm thrilled for Justin Fields, a guy who I like a lot personally. And listen, I've always wanted him to be more consistent and better at the quarterback position. But clearly, he did not deserve that. Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets, just absolutely destroying him at the owners' meetings earlier this week. Justin Fields' revenge game on his old owner. I mean, that's kind of crazy here. And honestly, I loved it. Fourth quarter comeback by the Jets in Cincinnati on the road. The first win for Aaron Glenn as the head coach of the Jets. Dreadful loss for Cincinnati, but man, Breece Hall, Justin Fields, Aaron Glenn, take a bow.
Well, Justin Fields, first and foremost, has handled lack of success better than anybody that I can remember in recent memory, okay? Justin Fields has been dealt a tough hand of cards. In Chicago, did not have the roster or the support system at the offensive line, the coaching staff to have success. Obviously, he goes to the New York Jets after a brief stint in Pittsburgh, and it just hasn't looked right. I mean, Justin Fields looks like he has not progressed in terms of being able to read the defense and getting rid of the football on time. And you and I both know that so much of the NFL offensive stuff is based on timing and being in rhythm. For whatever reason, he hasn't been there. But I prefaced all this with saying he's handled it like an absolute pro and a stud. And if I was in the locker room with that guy, I'd be out there swinging my sword until my sword was dull for Justin Fields because of the way that he carries himself. That's how you earn respect when the chips are down. The chips have been down more often than not for Justin Fields, but he continues to work. And I feel like what we saw from the New York Jets in an absolute slugfest against Cincinnati Bengals today was that the team rallied around their quarterback. The team found a way to each individually step up and make plays when plays are needed. Here's a fast fact about Justin Fields that, every week I revisit this. Justin Fields entered today 0-25 in games where the opponent scored 25 or more points. That is a very telling statistic. And I think the Jets understand that better than anybody. And what you saw from the Jets, particularly on offense, with Breece Hall having an unbelievable football game, is that the best was needed from everybody in order to get that win. Even down to the dwindling moments of the game where Breece Hall threw a game-winning touchdown. How's that, Woody Johnson? You got two guys who can throw the football. Take that. I wonder if they let Woody Johnson in the locker room after the win, okay? Because if I was on that team, I would have shut the door and told the head of security, let's call him John. I say, Johnny, you don't let anybody else in, okay? Because this is our win. It's not for anybody else. It's not for Woody Johnson. It's not for, whoever else, all the haters out there. That was a team win today. They had to find a way to do it, and they did. I give them a ton of credit. Justin Fields and the Jets, they got it done. Yeah,
they did, and they deserve a lot of credit, honestly. I thought that was stunning, not just that they won, but how they won. Speaking of stunning, how about the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? Going into this week, you could have easily made the case that the Jets and the Dolphins, the two biggest messes in the NFL, obviously both in the same division. Jets are previously winless. The Dolphins, every single week, it's not only terrible play, it's atrocious, comical, concerning press conferences. They are the unofficial league leader when it comes to cringe-inducing news conferences. That's not an official statistic, but I'm going to use that. And then they go out today, Kyle, and absolutely destroyed the Atlanta Falcons.
I'll say this about the Miami Dolphins. I think Tua Tagovailoa has learned from his mistakes as they pertain to the media and as it pertains to him being the forward-facing leadership for this Miami Dolphins team. When you go out and say the things that you did at the press conference, you're pointing two thumbs at yourself and saying, this is on me. And I feel like he understands that. I feel like the rest of the roster, they have the wherewithal, the presence of mind. The writing is on the wall in Miami. None of those guys are going to be there, okay? They're going to find out in the coming weeks who will be the Miami Dolphins for 25, 26, 27, 28. Guys like Jalen Waddle, guys like Devon Achane, really, really good football players and a number of good players on their defense as well. So for Miami fans, they're asking for a little bit of hope. They got it today with a butt whooping. I don't think the future Miami Dolphins will be coached by Mike McDaniel. I feel like a guy like Tua Tagovailoa, you're going to have to start fresh at the quarterback position. So they're going to need to identify who it is that they can build around. And they've got a few of those guys in the building. But for Tua, it was nice to see, man, slinging the ball all over the yard, having success. The things that we love about Tua, he is on time. He is in rhythm. The ball doesn't come out with tremendous zip, but it goes where it needs to go, and it's out on time. You look at the offensive line stats for this Miami Dolphins group, and you would think they've got a bunch of guys who are on their way to Canton with the lack of pressures that are put on Tua Tagovailoa just from a number standpoint. Well, that's because their quarterback gets rid of the football. And when everybody's on the same page and the ball's out on time, it's amazing what your offense can do. Today was a testament to that.
Listen, I think that Tua for this week deserves credits. I think you nailed it, though. I don't think Tua's going to be there long term. I don't think Mike McDaniel's going to be there long term. No. I don't think Chris Greer's going to be there long term. So with that as a backdrop, with all the chaos and conversation to show that kind of hearts and grits on the road against the Falcons, I think that's, and I don't want to hear, well, Penix wasn't playing and London wasn't playing. Let's make sure, and that's a disaster for Atlanta. Let's make sure we give the Miami Dolphins some credit here, because I was stunned by Miami. I was stunned by the Jets, and I'll tell you, that's a feel-good. Giants, anything but.
Yeah.
It was a rough loss for the Giants, and Cam Skattebo, we're watching the touchdown, the dart through to him, and it was just pulsating, and he's been so exciting, and he was so great in college. And when we saw that with his ankle, and he gets carted off the field, that was just awful for Skattebo and the New York Football Giants.
Cam Skattebo is much more than a running back for the New York Giants. I feel like he is hope personified. He is intensity and passion in football player form. And when you see a guy like that go down, it really extinguishes the flame on a locker room that I have seen it, like you were talking about, pulsating. That's what it is, this group. With Skattebo, with Jackson Dart, there is youth, there is hope, there is promise for the future and for now for the New York Giants. And unfortunately, with a guy like Cam Skattebo going down, you can see that hope is dwindling a bit in that locker room. They're going to have to find a way to try to substitute something else, try to replicate the juice that this young man on the wall behind me brings. It's going to be tough sledding for the Giants. I hope he makes a full recovery, because there's not a lot of guys that are more fun to watch than Cam Skattebo.
So Neighbors is out, and Skattebo is out, and now Brian Daboll is going to have to win games and try and save his job without those guys for the Giants. Good luck with all that.